Hey folks, welcome to Bullpen's Gaming 10. Today we're unboxing Steampunk Rally Fusion, designed by Oren Bishop, artwork by Mr. Cuddington, and published by Roxley Games. The version that we have here is the Deluxe Atomic version. So basically what this means is we obviously have all the different components and pieces for Steampunk Rally Fusion, but we also have all the components for the original Steampunk Rally inside the same box. That's basically what you mean by the atomic version, or at least that's how it's basically marketed. So you can see this sort of like interesting line going down the middle, which is thematically symbolizes that, you know, you have the original Steampunk Rally on this side, Rally Fusion on this side, but of course there's going to be a custom insert inside here that has all those different components and allows it to fit inside one box. So I'm excited to see what's in here. Roxley usually does pretty good as far as component quality and design and whatnot are concerned, so I'm excited to see what's in here. We'll also have a look at this little bag of goodies right here. So this, by the look of things, contains all the different promo packs or promo cards that might have been released for the original Steampunk Rally. So it should hopefully be sort of like a comprehensive edition of everything Steampunk Rally that you might want in the game. So we'll look at this at the very end of the unboxing video, but for now we'll crack into this one. So let's start by taking the shrink off. And for that, of course, we need to go to the back of the box. All right. Now, I did play the original Steampunk Rally online once. That was a bit of a while back. I do remember enjoying this quite a bit then, so that's sort of like part of when I decided that I wanted to pack this and see what it looks like. But very quickly, I'll just compare the artwork for the original and then the new one. And I assume it actually is artwork for both is done by Mr. Cuddington. Mr. Cuddington, from what I understand, is sort of like a pseudonym used by a couple. And by couple, I mean potentially sort of like a husband-wife or husband-husband, wife-wife couple. And they're both artists, and they sort of like collaborate together to create artwork for these games. And they've done some other wonderful stuff, like the artwork on Untitled Blades, which I have sitting on my shelf as well. So this, I like the look of this. This is very sort of like light, breezy, cheerful, definitely has a good steampunk feel to it. But of course, this is the artwork for the original Steampunk Rally. This is the one for the newer one, and there's a lot more green aesthetic going on in here. There's more colors that pop, and it looks like there's, I don't know, the alien invasion going on. It very much has a War of the Worlds kind of a vibe going on in there. I don't know if you can tell or not. So, you know, that's basically what I'm referring to when I say that. But generally, I like the aesthetics. It's bright, it's colorful, it pops. So good stuff. Let's open it up and see what's inside. And the finish is quite good as well on this one. Bit of a linen finish. Pretty traditional blank lid. Looks like we have some sort of a ship, and this might be sort of like where you're starting your game off from. And it's double-sided, so that's there. There's a bend in the middle too. I don't know if this is meant to be folded or not. Potentially is. So yeah, so that's the first thing you'll encounter if you open up the box. Next up, we have a bunch of punch boards. Well, actually, just these two. I'll quickly crack into it. Let's see how these are punching out. They're punching out all right, not too bad. Let's have a closer look at what these look like. Now, these look like play pieces. You might be sort of like putting these on the board, and these might be the folks that you're racing with. So, you know, you have Amelia Earhart, interestingly enough, Alan Turing, Auguste Picard. So overall, these pieces are not quite big, but the artwork on them are fairly, it's fairly good, and should be easy to tell apart. And it looks like we have a bunch of these different racers in here. So these are sort of like the different racing characters, I presume. And it looks like we have a whole bunch more in here. So again, as a reminder, this should include all the different components for the original Steampunk Rally as well as Fusion. So that's why perhaps we can see so many of these in here. Now, thickness of the cardboard, I do wish they were perhaps a little bit thicker, but nothing that's of immediate concern. the way that I look at it, but I do wish they were a little bit thicker. I would not be complaining with some added thickness on that. But otherwise, everything's punching out well. And when I say, I didn't mind a little bit more thickness, you can see by the overall thickness of the cardboard right here, it wobbles quite easily. But anyhow, we'll see how that holds up with the repeated plays. Next up, we have the rule book, and again, seems very bright and colorful. We have the different components in here, overview, history, story rather, sorry. Then we have the setup, your first game, so there might be certain adjustments you're doing for your first game if you're playing it. Setup example for 2 players, illustrated over there. Optional setup, so there could be some unique twists and things that you might be able to plug in. How to play draft phase, more of the draft phase, event phase, race phase, damage phase, upkeep, finish line, secret projects, race effects, race features, game variants. So there could be more than one way of playing it. You also have a solo game, so if you wanted to play this solo, you could do that. You could play this with additional challenges by the look of things. There's an FAQ section, and then of course you have your inventor biographies at the very end. And lots of inventors, sorry, by the look of things. And then you have a quick reference sheet at the very back. So quick thoughts, bright and colorful. There's lots of visual cues in here, so hopefully that makes the learning the game a little bit easier for you if you're trying out with this rulebook. And then as we look into this, looks like a very, again, first impressions, looks like a very nice custom insert. It is solid. It does not feel flimsy at all. So always a good sign. Let's see what these tiles look like. And this is actually pretty neat. It looks like there's additional spots for these things in there. So it's a nice touch, and you even have it stepwise. I'll maybe point out some of these cues at the very end, because it looks like there definitely is some thought that's gone into the design of the insert, so that's always good. Let's have a look at these tiles, and this will basically constitute your racetrack as you're playing the game. So you have your start tile, and these are double-sided, so that's neat. So there you go. And then you might be able to set up with the other tiles based on certain rules and whatnot. And again, these are double-sided, so it looks like this feels more familiar from sort of like the original Steampunk Rally. If I look at the artwork on this one, I don't remember playing with tracks that had these color themes on it. But then on the back side, this definitely feels like Steampunk Rally Fusion, the new one. It's darker themed, but I generally like it. It's easy to tell different spots on it, right? Okay, and these look like somebody's pre-punched it for you. As you can tell, these were definitely punched out as well, so it's saves you that little bit of hassle. Let's have a look at these tiles next. And these are all the same, so again, we'll just have a look at one. But again, things have been pre-punched. They've been pre-assembled, as you can see. This is already assembled in there, and you're able to track stats by rotating these as it were. Again, very nice touch. And of course, if you, when you're putting these back in the box, you can basically put these in this stepwise different spots here, like so. So it's pretty neat, the thought that sort of like has gone into this one. They could have just very easily just made one single groove and plopped everything down, but nice touch. I like that. All right, what do we have next? We have these gears, and this might be where sort of like the deluxe side of this comes in, potentially. So if you remember, we had seen those cardboard gears the game comes with. So you had these gears right here, but you also get these metal gears, and these are definitely metal. It's a nice little thing. I mean, there's a lot of games that do metal coins these days, and they do some great metal coins with a lot of games that have come out recently. But Metal Gears, oh, sorry about that, guys. This is definitely a first for me, I think. I cannot remember any game doing Metal Gears before. And these are of different sizes, so you can sort of like use these for different denominations by the look of things. So you can definitely tell these apart by size. Hopefully it's easy to tell apart as you're playing the game as well and not just looking at it. But I like these. These don't feel as heavy as coins, obviously, because, you know, they're hollowed out things in here to make it look like a gear. But otherwise, they feel pretty sturdy and pretty solid. So let's put these back in its own box so that we can start focusing on the other stuff. There we go. Awesome. All right. Next up, dice. And lots of dice. So the game comes with all these different dice in here. Now, these three, I mean, these are obviously different colors, but they seem to be of similar shape and size. Whereas this is a little bit different, and you can probably tell as well the pip value printed on these are not the same as this. So these are your standard D6s, slightly smaller in size, not standard D6s, slightly larger in size. So let's just open up one of these and see what these look like. And again, you can definitely sort of like tell by the look and feel of it that these are on the smaller end, but I don't mind, just given the fact that there's so many of these that you'll be putting out over the course of the game. Smaller is, it's one of those rare events when I'm going to say smaller dice is not a bad thing. But overall, quality is pretty standard and decent, so not much to complain there. And as for the larger guys, right here, now, these are not single colored, as you can see. There's a split between blue and green, so it ties in with sort of like that fusion theme, and it's pretty cool. As you rotate it, the colors seem to move and evolve as well. So I really like how these look and feel. Nice. So that's good. We have standees for your different inventors to be put on. I'm not going to focus too much on it. Standard standee things and clips and whatnots. Now, cards. We want to look at the cards, so let's do that. These look pretty similar, so we're just going to crack into one of these, maybe not both. They do seem to be the same. So you have Acid Rain, Aerofoil, Black Hole, Catapult, Cold Fusion, Cowcatcher, that's a weird one, Freeze Ray, Harpoon, Havoc, you get the drill. Artwork on these is not bad, so I'm just going to zoom in very closely so that you can get a sense on the quality of the artwork on this as well. They do seem to be unique for the most part. As I cycle through this, I'm not seeing any repetitions, although of course there might be, because there's that other deck right there. But they do seem to be unique, and the quality of the artwork is pretty decent. Another one will maybe zoom into so that you can tell a little bit better. So I like it. I mean, I imagine that some might be a little off-put by the fact that these are very dark cards. You know, obviously there's a lot of black and dark blue going on in here. But I mean, I like it. It fits my taste, so I have no issues with that whatsoever. And I generally like the artwork. The quality of the artwork is good. Uniqueness is definitely good. The only thought I would have is I wish this was a little bit thicker. I'll see if I can sleeve these and still get them to fit in the box. I might sleeve these, I think. The thickness of the stock is good if, I don't know, I could be hearing it wrong, but it just feels a little thinner. I've held definitely much thicker cards than these, but the feel is not bad. These are going to be, if you are one of those who likes to do a riffle shuffle, this is definitely going to be an easy one for you to do, because the texture on this is definitely going to help you out with that. So that's this set of cards. Do we want to crack into this? Let's just quickly scan through it. What's the harm? Let's do that. Oh, there's some of these do repeat, so maybe these are not all unique. There you go. So maybe it just depends on the cards. There might be more common and uncommon ones, and not as I'm going through this. There's definitely repetition in this deck, so maybe it's a good thing that we opened this up after all. Yeah, but again, quality of the artwork is definitely not bad. Let's have a look at that guy jumping off right there. It's good. I like it. And then these are your ships and your things that you might attach to your ships and whatnot. So I don't think we need to go through all of these. I think one, in fact, will definitely be fine in this instance. So we'll do just that. Oh, and of course, I assume that there might be different ones for Fusion and the original one in here. So these are your and you can tell from the back. Yeah, and then these have a different back, so these might be different cards. I don't know what these are. Red Weed, Heat Ray, more Heat Ray, and then these have a slightly different back, so these are nice. Again, I played the game a while back, so I don't really remember the function of all of these cards. But again, stock quality, my comments stay the same. I like the artwork on this. It's easy to tell apart the different symbols and whatnot in here. So that's always a good thing. Yeah, I like it. No complaints from me as far as the artwork and the design of these cards are concerned. So that's all good. And looks like we have more ship cards. So we have characters now. We have not seen character cards before, so maybe we'll just open this one up. I'm doing this constantly, aren't I? I'm just saying I'm not going to open this and then off I go. But either ways, we've seen these kind of ship cards before. These look a little funkier. These are your starting characters, I assume, and then the stuff that you might get. So you have Ada or Ada Lovelace, and then this might be sort of like where the ship for Ada starts off from. Then you have Thomas Edison, and then you have potentially sort of like where his ship starts off from and whatnot, and that way you have all the different unique guys and characters in here. Actually, there's 2 of each of these, so there might be options for you to choose from, maybe, or just adds a little bit of uniqueness to this deck. And then it looks like we have more ships, more characters, ships, reference card. So good news, the game comes with its own reference card as well, so that's nice. More ship, more characters, more ship, more characters. So I think I have a good sense on the cards at this point. I don't want to bore you guys going through each of those in excruciating detail. But I did promise that we'll have a look at the promo pack, so let's do that right now. Where do I get into this? This, of course, is going to go into the box for me anyway, so that's there. It looks like we have a combination of cards and then something that's a little bit bigger, so let's come into this and have a look at this in a minute. The cards are what you might expect. These are just promo cards, so ships and pieces and things that allow you to do something that's a little bit more unique than your average thingy. Maria, oops, sorry. Oh, it's nice, and you have a character bio with these cards as well, so that's a nice little touch. So I'll move these to the side, and then we'll have a look at these, which I did not see in the box, so that's interesting. We have Ignacy I'm going to butcher that last name, so I apologize. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it because I'm not pretty certain I'm not going to get it right. But it looks like these might be special characters that you get to play with. You have Zug Liang and Lady Huang, Lizzie Maggie. Looks like there's another punch board with some extra characters. So it looks like there's some additional adventures you would have gotten with the promos. So let's have a quick look at some of these right here. Red Green, Rube Goldberg, Sergei Korolev. So it's nice. If you're looking for unique inventors to play with, there's a lot in here to keep you occupied. Then you have Red Green. It's a bit of an interesting design for the card, isn't it? Then you have Rube Goldberg. Nice. And then, of course, this is the back of that promo pack, as it were. All right, so that's pretty much everything that comes in the box for the Deluxe Atomic Edition of Steampunk Rally Fusion. And in the promo pack that came with the Kickstarter copy as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, leave them down below. Would definitely appreciate it if you guys could hit like and subscribe on this channel as well. In the meanwhile, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.